Good afternoon, everyone. This is Orlando Cruz, president of the Greater Patterson Chamber of Commerce, coming to you one more time for our next installment of our Chamber Happenings podcast. Here, where we bring to you the most up-to-date information on what's happening in and around the business community here in the Greater Patterson area. Today, we have a very special guest and an interesting topic because it revolves around educating our small businesses, our mid-sized businesses, and even our larger businesses. A lot of times when I talk to small businesses, when I ask them about what information is out there that they may have missed out on, or why didn't they apply for a certain grant, their answer to me is always, I didn't know. I didn't know it was out there. I didn't know it was for me. And so there are tons of resources out there that are for our small businesses, for our business community as a whole, that can really benefit their growth. And that's what we want to advocate for. And so today we have from the New Jersey Business Action Center, we will be joined by the executive director, Melanie Willoughby, who's going to talk to us about who and what the New Jersey Business Action Center is, what they do, what services they provide. And we'll be also talking about some hot topics that they're involved in statewide and also here on the local level to help our small businesses. So let's bring in our special guest here. It looks like we have Melanie connecting. And once she joins us, we can continue with the conversation of the Small Business Action Center. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Melanie, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Thank you. Melanie, thank you for joining us here at the Greater Patterson Chamber of Commerce. Joining us on our what we call the Chamber Happenings podcast. The Chamber for many, many years used to produce a physical newsletter titled Chamber Happenings, which provided some up-to-date information in and around the business community and what was happening in the Greater Patterson area. And so we've decided to bring that back, but in a more interactive and digital way by providing the content through this virtual podcast where we, kind of give our business community some up-to-date information and also have special guests like we have today to provide us with additional information and potential resources that can help our small businesses in the Greater Patterson area. So, ladies and gentlemen, chamber members, we have today the executive director of the New Jersey Business Action Center, Melanie Willoughby, who will kind of just touch on some topics that we've been hearing about, maybe statewide and even on the local level, some hot button items that have been affecting our small businesses and our business community as a whole. But Melanie, I'll go right ahead and I'll give you the floor to introduce yourself for those who may not know you and talk a little bit about what and who the New Jersey Business Action Center is.
Well, I really appreciate this opportunity to talk to the great businesses of Patterson because of the fact that many times they're really in need of a lot of the help that the Business Action Center is able to provide. And we are a state agency, but what makes us very special is that our whole purpose is to advocate for business. And as a state agency, that means we help them navigate government. And we do it by the business giving us a call and saying, gee, I just got a letter from the Department of Treasury and I don't understand what it means. Or I have a permit that I need from the DEP and I am hoping you can help me get through this process. Or I want to be certified as a small business or as a women-owned business or as a minority-owned business. How do I do that? And so government is complicated and we know that, and that's why we're here to help them through that process. And so here you are helping your businesses understand that we're just one phone call away, 1-800-Jersey-7.
Absolutely. Melanie, and you touched on a few things there that you said that I find very interesting, at least in my experience as well, dealing with a lot of businesses in and around the Patterson area, a lot of minority-owned businesses, right? Spanish-speaking businesses, and the immense wide diversity we have here, specifically in the city of Patterson. But, you know, most of the time when I interact with these businesses and I ask them about particular grants or particular programs that could have definitely helped or benefited them, you know, whether it was through the pandemic or even, you know, maybe some business improvement programs or initiatives, I always say, why didn't you apply for this? Or why didn't you, you know, reach out for that? And their response 90% of the time is, I didn't know, right? And I think it takes a lot of our partners and chambers of commerce's, business improvement districts, economic development departments to constantly educate the business community on what's out there. But you know, that's the experience, at least here for the most part, is, you know, I didn't know about such programs. So how does the New Jersey Business Action Center, you know, is that something that you also hear about? And if so, you know, what is some of the tools that you guys have to really promote what programs are out there to help our business community?
Well, that's a really good question, because how do you reach down, into the folks who are in the downtowns and
Mhm.
just have their head down, trying to get their business to be successful, and don't really have time to do all the investigation and reading that they need to do in order to be on top of things. So number one, the Business Action Center knows about all the grants, loans, and financing products that are available out there. So giving us a call to find out about them is one way of doing it. But in order for you to know to call us, for instance, is that you can essentially get your name of your company on our business email list. And so we send out a email to businesses when things are coming out, so that they can sign up and be ready. So what we can ask them to do is they could just call 1-800-Jersey-7 and say, I want to get on your newsletter list. And, we're state agencies, so we're confidential. We don't sell the list. We don't bother you with solicitations. We basically just want to give you the information you need about what's coming out, or even about new laws too. So there was the new law about all businesses had to ban the use of plastic bags, or couldn't use those, styrofoam clamshells in their restaurants. And a lot of businesses, on Main Street just didn't know about it because they said that they didn't get any information. And so getting on our email list means that you get all that information hot off the presses.
And obviously, even on the local level, right? Chamber of Commerce email lists,
Yes.
economic developments, special improvement districts, which I happen to be also the executive director of our downtown Patterson special improvement district. But those are definitely useful resources to stay ahead of the curve, so to speak, on what's coming down.
Well, I could just say that we try to stay in touch with all those organizations
Absolutely.
that you mentioned, so that if you're not getting our emails, then you need to get on our email list too.
Absolutely. And, we actually do get your emails. You guys do a great job at informing us, and we try our best to disseminate that information down. But it's great when we can come together and collaborate and just have a candid conversation, just like we're having today. And so I'll segue now a little bit. So before I segue, because you mentioned the plastic bag ban, I want to just also say, you guys also have the capability of helping our, let's say, Spanish speaking business, Bengali speaking business, Arabic speaking businesses as well, correct?
Correct. We do have staff who are bilingual. So we do have Spanish, but we can also work on translating any of our materials into other languages.
Perfect. And that's, I guess, a great segue to what you mentioned about the plastic bag ban. Has been a very hot button topic lately here in the state of New Jersey. When we were working with you guys in particular to disseminate that information out to a lot of our small businesses, that was one of the questions is, can we get this information in multiple languages so that we can distribute it? And you guys were great in providing that. You had the website where we can download all of the marketing material that we were able to use to disseminate that information. So, about the plastic bag ban, right? We know the purpose of it. We know what the intention was it at the larger scheme of things of, the environmental aspect of it. But as a small business or as a medium-sized business, have you seen it affect anyone negatively, right? Have businesses been effective, in a negative aspect? Have they lost business because of it? Well, just tell us a little bit about your experience, if you've gotten any feedback, if any, of how this maybe has impacted negatively a small business.
So I think that what we saw was that the small businesses who had placed orders for plastic bags or for the styrofoam, and they had large quantities still on in their storage areas, that they were the ones who were negatively impacted because they had a loss because they couldn't use those products any longer. And so I know that you usually have to order, like 6 months ahead of time to have the supply. And that's where we had difficulties with companies saying, well, can I just use up my inventory? And the bottom line is that no, it all ended on May 4th and not able to use your inventory. But what we suggested was you can donate your inventory to the food pantries, because all the food pantries were able to get a 6-month waiver so that they didn't have to comply until 6 months from May 4th. So they could use the supply. So that's where the negative impact was. But in terms of compliance, what's going to happen is that there will be the local departments of health, like the Patterson Department of Health is responsible for compliance. So they would, if they get a complaint or if they happen to be inspecting the store or the restaurant for something, might notice what they're utilizing and would give them a warning. And we are interested in education now and in bringing people into compliance. So the warning will be first.
Absolutely. And I want to say, actually, we have our, particularly a county health department official that, comes around the chamber a lot and helps us with, kind of giving that information or being a direct contact of resource, right, for some of the businesses. And her and I had a conversation last Tuesday at our weekly roundtable lunch. That was just a shameless plug there of our weekly chamber roundtable lunch every Tuesday.
Everyone.
So her and I had a conversation of how much she has not been, dealing with enforcement, because everybody's actually been, coming around, complying. Right. And I think a lot of people have gotten creative with the reusable bags as far as marketing is concerned. We have a chamber member, an insurance agent, who's been doing branding on reusable bags for probably over 20 years now. So, that idea that his father had 20 years ago is now coming where it's really benefiting them, because they've been able to use those, give them out to their clients, give them out to people, and people have been, using them now because they need them more than ever. Right. So we definitely have seen that. And so I just wanted to kind of just put it out there that I know you guys were very, vocal in helping small businesses, get through this process. And, there's always going to be, the little kinks that you run into, right? And you deal with them. But for the most part, I think, at least from my perspective, we've here in the city of Patterson have not really seen any or heard many complaints, and everybody's been pretty good with that.
That's great.
So I just wanted to let you guys know that.
The clamshells, the polystyrene clamshells were really more the issue. Versus the bags for some people, because they were trying to find a comparable in price alternative to the styrofoam. And I think that's been a struggle for some businesses.
Yeah. And I mean, just to be fair here across the board, right? We did have a large plastic bag manufacturer here in the city of Paterson that really took a hit because he
Oh,
supplied a lot of the supermarkets and supplied a lot of the small businesses, even garbage bags, right? So plastic garbage bags as well. So combination of, I think, the pandemic, then getting hit with this right after definitely hurt them. But I think that was expected, and
right,
people need to adapt and evolve in their business to, kind of adjust to the times.
right.
So,
Exactly.
that's definitely something that, was to be expected and has been dealt with. So I just want to, kind of switch gears a bit to another hot topic. Let's talk about a little bit, because I know that the New Jersey Business Action Center has been very involved in, recreational cannabis
Mhm.
and that industry and that business. I know you guys have served as um,
A resource.
a resource to the regulatory committee. So, just let's chat about that a bit. I mean, we have a great facility here in the city of Paterson, GTI Industries. They have Rise, who's a chamber member here, and they started with the medical marijuana. They, quickly, opened up the recreational part of it and has been nothing but successful. So I kind of want to, talk a little bit about that. How has it been since the law took effect? And also, let's kind of burst a little bit of the myths that people have, some of the perceptions of what these retail establishments were perceived to be like, and they have not been, right? I know we have the one here in the city of Paterson that's great. I'll be extremely candid with you, because that's just the kind of guy I am, right? People thought that these establishments would look like liquor stores or bodegas where people would buy their product and just hang out outside and consume that product. And that's totally opposite of what we've experienced here in the city of Paterson with our Rise location. And they've been a great partner to the community and to the city as well. So I just want to, let's talk a little bit about how it's been since everything really kicked off, since the law took effect, and then a couple of the perception issues, if we can, kind of just chat about that for a sec.
Sure. So the Business Action Center has been involved with the recreational cannabis licensees as they sought to have questions answered about how to apply and how to register as a minority or woman-owned business so that they could get the special consideration. And also to just find out about establishing a business in the state, because there are rules and regulations about how you do that. And many of those who wanted to go into the cannabis business, who were smaller and not some of your, larger organizations that have multi-state operations, they really needed sort of the assistance in looking at how you establish a business, how you register. Are you registering as a corporation, as an LLC, a sole proprietor? Those kinds of questions. Also putting together a business plan. And so, we were helping the licensees with answering those types of questions, which is what we do for all businesses in the state, and no difference for the licensees. But we are going to be also moving into now a more specialized approach, where we are going to be helping with technical assistance and also with one-on-one mentoring for the very special classes, which are the social equity, the legacy, and the micro businesses. So we're going to be there for them, and we are going to be putting together programs so that they have that what they need and being really helped through very specifically, and so that they do not make mistakes in how they process their license and get set up. So, the Cannabis Regulatory Commission has really thought through at what the special licensees need so that they get that special attention. And that's why they came to us at the Business Action Center. As for the rollout of the dispensary so far, it has been very streamlined because you have really the ones that are already in the recreational cannabis business, who had established practices, who
Or in the medical, right? In the
in
medical business.
right,
Yeah.
in the medical, and who already were a destination for the medical patient. And they now have made a smooth transition
Mhm.
into being able to provide the recreational when they got the license for that. And they also had the experience, which was a really, I think, great way for the New Jersey citizenry to be introduced to the recreational cannabis business from those who had the vast knowledge and experience in what was needed in order to do that. CRC also made sure that there was a separation between recreational and the medical marijuana, so that the medical marijuana patient did not lose if, with recreational maybe muscling them out. That did not happen at all either. So it's been a very smooth transition, and we're now looking to move into helping those who are like the next stage, the smaller dispensaries, those who have never run a business before, because we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to be in this market as well.
Absolutely. I think that's a great, I think it's great because that's going to be its own kind of system that needs its own attention, right? And because the larger guys have the experience, as you said, they're established, they were doing medical. It's just it was an easy transition for them for the most part. Now, you mentioned the smaller ones. I just want to clear the air on something that came up. And I think, Deb Hoffman, right, from Passaic County Economic Development, put us on an email chain. And it was just because I've gotten this question more often recently, and I've gotten it more than once now. So I just want to clear the air and kind of get it from you. But we've gotten questions of, can a person open a recreational dispensary, so to speak, right? But can a person have that type of business and run it not in a storefront, but out of a food, not a food truck, because it's not going to be also selling food, but in that style, right? So is this only a storefront type of business and nothing else? Because so and that's what I wanted to clear.
Not a truck.
Not a truck.
Not a vehicle that can move from town to town to town.
Because then we get into zoning issues and
this
whatnot.
Is a law
but the license won't allow it.
Right.
License won't allow.
Yeah. You have to be in a town that allows it. You have to have a municipal agreement for your storefront, and that all has to be approved by the municipal government. And if you have a truck that has 4 wheels and is able to move, you are not going to be adhering to
not gonna happen. And
it's
and
an
again,
interesting concept. Not possible.
No, and people thought about it, right? Because they said, well, if we put a restaurant on wheels, why can't we not put a retail store on wheels? But that's
because a restaurant is already under a law. The food trucks have a law that they have to adhere to.
Yes.
And they have to get permits in order to park where they're going to park. We don't have that in recreational marijuana.
It's too early for that, but it's
I think that's way ahead.
We have a lot of creative people their wheels start turning, right? So we just wanted to put that out there, because the question for some reason came up recently, and it's come up more than once, and so we want to just kind of let people know you cannot have a recreational marijuana truck driving around neighborhoods.
No, I can just imagine the issues with that.
So and I'm glad, so that way we can just end it right
there.
There
are towns that are saying, no, we don't want marijuana dispensaries in our town
in general. So so
you can't go there.
It's not going to be like the ice cream truck coming down the block.
No.
So we wanted to just get that one out the way. So that was good, and I thank you for that. And so the Business Action Center is there. Lastly, I just want to, if you can, just kind of touch on, you guys can also help and advocate and educate a business that wants to get onto like the state list to become a state vendor.
Oh, we're really good at that.
Good.
So Procurement is a very big part of what we do because it's a way for businesses to expand. And if they can get on lists for municipal government, for county government, for school districts, state government, as well as the federal government, we can help guide them about where they have to go to register, what they need in order to do that, where they can get free training on how to put together their plan. And that's very important because you really need to be able to understand what you have to sell, what your capacity is for making large quantities of it, and how you will start. A lot of times, small businesses will start as a subcontractor to a larger vendor. And then as they build capacity, then they can become a contractor. So there's a lot of steps to this, and we're here to help them.
Awesome. I appreciate that because that's a question that often comes into the Chamber of Commerce on how, how they have the, kind of the ability to bid on contracts and or, we know there's a process where agencies, government agencies can pick from a list of vendors if the scope of work is less than X amount of dollars. So people want to just kind of know, how to do that. So we know to direct them to you guys.
Absolutely.
For that,
1-800 Jersey 7.
Yes. 1-800 Jersey 7 for
That's
that.
right.
And for a, kind of generalized information on small businesses and the multiple wide variety of resources that you guys have there at the New Jersey Business Action Center. So Melanie, thank you very much for your time.
Oh,
I know
thank
you are a
you.
very busy woman, but we get your emails, we get all of your stuff, and a lot of our partners on the local and county level, we're always doing things together to get information out when you guys have your webinars or anything new that is coming down that you want to start pushing out. So lastly, leave us with anything. What's coming down the pipeline, if anything, from the New Jersey Business Action Center that we should be looking out for?
All right. This is a new program we're starting. This is an exporting. And I know a lot of small businesses think, I don't have anything to export, but you really need to give us a call because we're looking for companies who are new to exporting, who never thought that they had a product that could be exported in the food and beverage industry. And we want to help them put together a plan and find a country for them to get their products exported to and build their ROI. So stay tuned. That's coming. Information is coming to you, and I'm looking for those companies.
So is it only exporting or importing as well?
Yes, it's only exporting.
Okay.
It's not importing. No.
Okay.
We actually can advise a company if they want to import a product, but they are going to spend money to import. We want to help them make money by exporting that product to another country where their ROI can be really increased dramatically. That beyond what their wildest dreams are, and they can add people and grow their business. Absolutely.
So that is great information. We will stay, up to date and in tune with that. And as you guys have that information, to disseminate it down to us so that we can get it out there, and then we can continue helping you, extend that message on a larger scale. Obviously, focused more on our network of people, so that we try to do our best to make sure that everybody gets the information and is well educated and knows about the resources. So Melanie, thank you again. Enjoy your weekend, and I'm sure we'll be speaking to each other sometime down the future, and you are always welcome here. You have a friend at the Patterson Chamber of Commerce. There's never a dull moment down here.
Oh, I'm
sure. And in Passaic County in general, as I mentioned Deb Hoffman before, she's a great partner, and we're constantly in talks. And she's going to be coming on here soon as well to talk about some economic development stuff. But we love you guys down at the NJBAC. You are a great partner and resource to us, people in the chamber world and special improvement district worlds, Main Street programs in general. So thank you again. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk soon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Melanie.
All right. Bye-bye.
So that was Melanie Willoughby from the New Jersey Business Action Center. Just to remind everybody, they are a state agency that is sole purpose is to advocate and provide education and resources to small businesses, mid-sized businesses. They also have nonprofit information. You can reach out to them when you want assistance in knowing or help with a current grant that may be out there that can help your business. You can reach out to them if you want to just kind of stay in tune with what may be coming up of resources to help your business. They help with project management. They help you connect with business advocacy groups, connect you with expert consultants for training grants, talent recruitment, energy efficiency programs. They connect you with government agencies to support businesses with the state, maybe permit process, application processes. They are a full service business helpline. They also offer developmental guidance to help individuals that want to work with multiple municipalities and government agencies. If you're a business and you want to get on the state list of approved vendors, the New Jersey Business Action Center is a place for you to head to so that they can help you and kind of walk you through that process to make sure that things are done right the first time and you're not missing out on, growing or expanding your businesses. Small businesses, they want to grow, and the New Jersey Business Action Center is a great place for that. You want to grow to a mid size to large business. This is the place to start. And, they have a ton of resources. So check out their website, the New Jersey Business Action Center. They also have the general hotline. It's 1-800-JERSEY-7, 1-800-JERSEY-7. And as Melanie mentioned, you want to get on their mailing list so that you are, one of the first people to know when something is coming out that may benefit your business. And not everything fits everyone, but you never know that one time that you're looking for something in particular. And that's when you'll get that message from them, whether it be via email or a mailer that, really hits home and hits something that you're looking for that revolves around, maybe some issues that you're having at your small business. You can also always reach out here to the Chamber of Commerce. We have a direct line to the New Jersey Business Action Center. You can reach out to the office here at the Chamber of Commerce at 973-881-7300 and, ask your question. If I don't have necessarily the answer for you right away, I usually turn to a place like the New Jersey Business Action Center to help provide that guidance that we can respond to you with. And stay tuned, guys, for another episode of the podcast coming down the pipeline. As I mentioned, we have David Schoner from the New Jersey Film Commission who'll be coming on soon. And we'll be talking about some of the filming that's happening specifically in the city of Paterson and in Passaic County in general. I did mention our Passaic County partner, Deborah Hoffman from Economic Development over there, who'll be coming on. We'll have an episode with her where we're just chatting about economic development in general. And don't forget our weekly roundtable lunch at In the Drink Cafe at the Passaic County Golf Course every Tuesday at 12 p.m. That's where we are. You want to just sit down, have lunch, have an informal conversation about issues or general information about what's going on in and around the city of Paterson. That's the place to be. It's every Tuesday, 12 p.m. We are now in our summer location, which is at In the Drink Bar and Grill over at the Passaic County Golf Course, beautiful outdoor patio. I always tell everyone, if you're going to have lunch somewhere, come have lunch with us. You'll never know who's at the table. And of course, we have our annual golf outing coming up August 3rd. That's a Wednesday, August 3rd. Shotgun is at 1 p.m. And that's up at Wild Turkey, Crystal Springs Resort. You want to come spend a great afternoon of networking and playing some golf. This is the place to be. You'll be getting more information about that as time moves on. But we have our annual, it's actually our 21st annual Memorial Golf Outing. And it's August 3rd. That's a Wednesday, 1 p.m. Shotgun up at Wild Turkey. So look out for more information on that. You can always find all information on our website, visit our website at greaterpattersoncc.org, greaterpattersoncc.org. So for this week, that's it, guys. And make sure you tune in for our next episode of the Chamber Happenings podcast. And in the meantime, let us here at the Chamber continue to be the voice of the business community. Have a great day, everybody.